What's going on, guys? It's time for tea. Let's do this week. Hello, it's you, Grace. Hello, Lucy. Hello, folks. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the time for teas. Caldwell's here and ready. What's up, gal?
So, how's it going?
You know, I'm alive, kicking.
For sure.
For sure.
For sure. What's
Yeah.
going on in your life? Tell me things.
I'm back recording episodes. I had a chat to your mate Lauren Byrne the other day.
Oh, Bernie! How
Mate,
is that?
hilarious. God love her.
She's funny, right?
She's
She's a very, very intelligent lady,
we had
you
a good
know?
chat. And you guys have to wait nearly as long as Jen's episode for that one to come out.
Moly!
Yeah, 6, 7, 8 weeks. But it's okay because we've got Jody this weekend and then Harriet in 4 weeks and then Bernie 4 weeks after that. So we're kind of
You'll get your tour fix.
exactly. So yeah.
And if you can't wait that long, you've already got me, and you've already got Shaka, and you've already got Maddie
Yeah.
chatting.
And
So,
you've got the workshop, the Theatre Fans Workshop reunion coming up on the 4th of August. If you guys have got tickets,
have you got tickets?
I'm waking up at 4 a.m. to come and party with y'all. So let's do this.
Oh, it's going to be fun. It's going to
I'm
be really
pumped.
fun.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm just excited for everyone to be in one space. And it's just going to be really nice, you
Yeah.
know? And it's a really nice idea from Taylor as well.
Yeah.
He's
Taylor.
such a sweetheart.
Yeah, I've been chatting with him. He's fantastic, and I'm all for what he's doing. That's absolutely fantastic. So if you haven't checked
Yeah.
out Theatre Fans Workshop, please go check out Taylor and the crew.
And the
It's
more
really
people go to this reunion, the more money we get, and we're poor.
it's pretty much sold out. I think he added a couple
Is
extra
it?
tickets. Yeah,
People
you
want to
guys,
see us chat shit. I love it.
100%.
People will see that.
What have you been up to this week?
Do you know what? Not a lot at all. This is what I want to talk about this week, right? Because I've had one of those weeks, right, where I felt constantly anxious, constantly,
Mm,
and it's like horrendous.
I've had that kind of because I forgot how nervous I get before recording the episodes, and it
Yeah.
really is like a mad pit in my stomach right until I say hello, how you going? It's like half an hour leading up. I'm like, hey.
Contorted with stress.
Like last night, I had a chat to Rosie Pearson, and that was
Oh,
man, that was such a good chat.
she's
Guys,
so
I
gorgeous.
know you
She's
guys
so
aren't 100% behind the industry episodes. I know you guys are just here for the queens, but oh man,
listen to the industry episodes.
yeah,
Because if you love the show, to me, if you love the show, you should love how it works. You should
I
want to know
think it's
how it
more
works.
that people only click on the episodes that they know the people in the title.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
when I've done episodes with Grace, Katie, Andy,
Yeah.
they've been kind of my lower streaming guys. You need to
Dreams.
pick up on Shaka's episode. Oh my god, let's go. It's interesting. But yeah, so like, yeah,
But yeah, you had a chat with Rosie. For those of you
yeah,
who don't know, Rosie is one half of Pearson Casting, who cast the show. So they choose who's going to be in the show.
and
Obviously, along
for
with the creative team.
anyone that's looking to get into the performing arts and be a part of this industry, literally we have like half an hour of advice on like how to go about booking auditions, how to present yourself online, all of that. So like it's a really informative episode after we talk Six. So don't like just hear the Six stuff and switch off because it's good.
She's so great as well. And
Mm.
also, like, I say this all the time, but she created like such a lovely atmosphere. Her and James just created this wonderful atmosphere. And, you know, not all casting directors are like that. And, you know, that's not anything against casting directors at all. You know, they all have their own thing. But there are some that you go in and they just, it feels, you just kind of breathe. You're like, oh, thank God. Okay. And they make you
Yeah.
feel really welcome and really nice. There are a few that like I've auditioned for at Grinrod's who are just lovely, lovely. And David Grinrod is a massive casting director in musical theatre also.
There we go.
Anyway.
Anyway, we're,
Anyway.
we're just
So
chatting
yeah,
back.
back
We're
to
just going to
my
chat back end industry today.
yeah, apparently. Back to my anxiety, guys.
Oh yeah, sorry. Shoot.
But this is the thing, like I felt that feeling that you feel an hour, half an hour before you, like I felt that constantly all week. I have it now. I have like, my stomach feels like it's in knots
Yeah.
and I feel like I've got a lump in my throat like I'm about
Here.
to cry. Yeah, I'm like that. I've been like that constantly all week. And I don't know why either. So
Have you cried in
this
the
is
last
it.
week?
Yeah, not very much, but yeah. And like, I just kind of want to normalize it and be like, look, there's no real kind of reason why I feel like this, but like we all get it. And I don't want people to be like, I've got anxiety, I've got this, I've got that, and because I think people are very quick to be like, I don't know, this might be controversial, but there are a lot, I think people are very quick to be like, yes, 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 I suffer from anxiety. I suffer from anxiety. I have anxiety. Bitch,
Yeah.
we've all got anxiety. Like
It,
everybody gets anxious about shit. And everybody can be anxious about, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like often people can also use it as an excuse for things.
oh,
You
girl,
know?
I'm 100% on your page with that one though. Like, it's
Yeah.
such, like I understand, like I've been in situations where I've been in the middle of an anxiety attack that bad that I can't literally function. Like I'm unable to move. So if you're using
But
the
you can
I,
have that.
yeah.
But
So I
you
am,
can have that and not be like, I've got this, I've got that. Like to me, it needs to be diagnosed.
yes.
To be like, I have anxiety. To me, that is a diagnosis. And if it has not been diagnosed, you will like, you have anxiety sometimes. Like you suffer from anxiety sometimes. Like, and
Sweet.
everybody does. That's it.
And like I'm
It's
one of
not
those people that has literally been diagnosed. So like I have the piece of
I
paper saying,
guess,
"Yo, I'm
yeah, that
medically
must be like
legit."
a point of contention for you. If
Oh,
people are like, I've
it's
got anxiety, I've got anxiety, and use it as an excuse, and I
yeah,
don't like to do that.
it's like I'm like, man, call me the night that you've sat in the bottom of a shower under cold water for 3 hours, unable to move, just because like, oh
Because you literally physically cannot move.
yeah, you kind of just like your body literally shuts off and your brain keeps running like a million miles an hour. And like, oh, ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got like the
I,
worst
I,
kind of,
this is the thing, like I've never experienced anything like that. So I can say, like, right now I'm having a period where I feel
yeah,
anxious. There's no explanation for it, but I've never got to that level, and I will never pretend to be like, I suffer from anxiety, because like
everybody does.
sometimes you feel stressed about stuff, but I've
Yeah,
never got to that level. And I think people need to know the difference.
100%. Yeah. And like, there's a difference between feeling anxious about a situation and having anxiety. Like, having anxiety,
Complete.
it's, yeah. Oh, like, let's unpack this because, oh,
Yeah.
um,
Because I
yeah,
literally was like thinking this morning, I was like, what can we talk about today? And I was like, I'm gonna bring this to the table today.
let's roll with it.
We're getting serious. I'm getting warm. I'm peeling as well, guys. FYI, my sunburn has now started to peel. So,
Oh, I love that. Um,
steps.
yeah, like, when was it? Nearly 2 years? 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago, I had like pretty much close to a mental break. Like, let's trigger warning for anyone that's triggered by this stuff.
Feeling that way, or, yeah.
Things are going to get deep. Um, it was April 26th or something like that. We call it Anzac Day. It's kind of like our Vets Day. And the situation I was in, I was like in a really bad situation with friends, people cheating on each other, and me being kind of caught in the middle of it with all the information without being able to express it. And
Yeah.
I was left out of a decision, and I literally sat on my bedroom floor for like 6 hours, hyperventilating. Like, I like couldn't even like form tears. Like, you know how you get to that point of crying and you just like let it out. It was kind of that before the bubble pops. It was that for
Yeah.
6 hours.
And you
Like,
can't cry, and you
yeah,
want to, and you just
yeah.
can't. Yeah.
So then you get anxious about that, and then you like, oh
It
man,
spirals. I
but
had a friend of mine um, who suffered like incredibly badly with panic attacks, and she like hyperventilated so much that she passed out.
yeah,
And I was
it's
like, I've never seen anything like that. And you can feel like I'm having a panic attack. If you have never had a panic attack and you say you've had a panic attack, that drives me mad. A panic attack is
every
like,
everybody has them differently. Like,
yeah,
my ones during this time, my body wouldn't completely shut down, but I get this tremble. I get
mm,
really cold, and I get a
yeah,
tremble, and I'd kind of black, like I would black out. Kind of, I wouldn't have any
yeah,
recognition. But there's those people that'll have them and freak themselves out, and
yeah.
then
I felt like I
hyperventilate.
was
And
going, the first time I ever had one, I felt like I was going to die.
oh,
I was like, this is the worst thing I've
you
ever
think you've
felt.
had a panic attack until you actually have one, and then it freaks you the hell
Yeah,
out.
yeah. And you're like, this is it. This is how I die. I'm having a heart attack. I'm
Yeah,
going to die. Oh my God. And
yeah,
then you spiral as well. But yeah, I mean, the point to me is like, please don't self-diagnose.
yeah,
If you feel like you have anxiety, um, go to a medical professional
yeah.
and discuss that, and discuss
Because
ways that you can, yeah, go
go,
on.
go, go.
No, I'm good. I'm peeling. Go on.
um,
I will peel my shoulder.
Anxieties and depressions and that type of thing on the basic level are a chemical imbalance. Like it's just something misfiring here. That's all it is. And like that's harsh of me to kind of bottle that down to this little thing. But
Yeah.
physiologically, that's what it is. It's your brain not firing certain chemicals, and then you're missing out on certain things.
Certain like
So,
coping mechanisms. It's like
um,
you've got like valves maybe that like shut things off.
and like the release of, so for depression, like the release of, what's that hormone thingy?
The
Um,
happy one.
yeah, that one. Yeah,
Serotonin.
serotonin. So depression is derived from the lack of serotonin
The
production.
imbalance of serotonin,
Yeah.
yeah.
So there are medications out there that balance that out. And everybody reacts differently to them. But like if you're
Yeah.
feeling that bad that you can't cope, that support, like you need to go talk to someone, A, B, potentially see a psychologist and get on to medication, but don't think medication is the first step because it's not. You need to learn how to deal with what you've got and understand what's going on in your life that's making you feel this way. Because if you don't deal with the surrounding factors, it doesn't matter what you pop into your body, nothing's gonna change.
No, no. I think it is also like this was never something that was approached, or maybe it didn't seem like maybe hence it didn't seem like a huge factor when I was younger, like when I was kind of in my late teens, early 20s. And I don't know whether it was something that wasn't talked about or whether there are now a lot more things around in society like social media that feed into these feelings that you may like, that I may have had these feelings when I was younger, but
Yeah.
social media wasn't as big a thing, and it wasn't fed as much. I feel like social media and you know, capitalism feeds it. I hate it. You know, it feeds people's anxiety. It feeds those feelings. It feeds those feelings of not feeling good enough. It feeds those feelings of you need to be better, you need to be thinner, you need to be this, you need to be that. You're constantly pumped with all of these images that tell you that you're not good enough. And I mean, it's always been the way with advertising, like, and marketing. That's always the way. But I think now, because everything is there and it's so immediate, you are constantly faced with people and companies and the world telling you that you're not good enough, and
Yeah.
that is enough to
And
make
it's
you
at this point in society, it's not just companies and marketing. It's your friends and family that are posting the
for sure.
photos that you're then
Yeah,
comparing yourself to. And then it's a personal thing because you know that person and you
yeah.
physically
And you're like,
compare
why are they
yourself to
so
them.
happy? How are
Yeah.
they dealing with this so well? How, like, especially right now. And you look at people and you're like, how are you dealing with this so well? Like, what? Like, I'm over here having a mental breakdown every fucking day, and you're like, I'm just gonna go out for brunch with my friends. I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna do. I'm like, what the fuck? How? Right?
That's
Anyway.
that's me right now. Like I'm like having a good old time for the last couple of months, and everyone's like, I'm like, bro, I'm having a fine dandy time. I haven't had that moment yet where it's like shit. So
This is, I don't know. I don't know. I think maybe like finding out about the driving stuff has just sent me into this
it might have,
hole.
you might be like having a delayed reaction. Like you might, your body might have been kind of pumped up on adrenaline or whatever it was for that last week, and you finally kind of come out of it. And this is the shock setting in, because guys,
Yeah.
anxiety is one of the first steps of shock. So
So I've been feeling like this since like Friday.
it's shit. Hey,
Oh my God. I feel like I want to cry all the time.
And
all
the
the
worst
time.
part is you don't know what's going to set you off. So you're like on edge, constantly waiting for that one thing to like hit you. So you
Yeah,
just like break and you're just like,
and I don't
when's it
want to
coming?
like, and I, it's like I don't want to talk to people because I don't know what's gonna turn me. You know,
Yeah.
it's awful,
It's
and
honestly,
I'm
guys,
not. I don't
it's
want to leave
like
the
what
house.
it's like watching a horror movie for the first time. Like you know there's going to be jump scares, but you don't know when they're going to be.
Yeah, yeah, horrible. It feels horrible, horrible. So this is what I'm feeling, guys, and I just want to be really honest about it because you know, we all feel like shit sometimes, and I want to
It is
tell
not
you.
always rainbows and lollipops, ladies and gentlemen. Not always rainbows
I
and
think,
lollipops.
and also like in terms of like the way that people present themselves on social media, like people post the happy stuff and then choose not to post if they're feeling down, or they'll lie and post like happy stuff. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
and
I
like,
post significantly less when I'm feeling this way,
yeah,
and but I feel like I should kind of post the shit stuff too. But I'm doing it
turns out
now. I'm telling you now.
I'll post it for you, Jen. It's okay. You come and talk to
Thanks.
me, and I got you back.
Thanks.
um, yeah, it's shit. Yeah, and like I think I 100% agree that it's today's society. Like I was in that generation where social media t- started its takeover. So I was in probably fifth or sixth grade when the this kind of hype of Facebook started. Um,
Yeah. How was it?
and
University. Yeah. So that was like I'd managed to get through kind of most of my teen years before it hit. So I feel like I'm lucky in that way.
yeah, and like I was getting bullied pretty bad at school, and then all of a sudden it came to the point where it could then follow me home. Like, and that's where it is.
Yeah.
You can't get away from whatever situation you're in. Like, whatever's going on,
Yeah.
it's always there because you're going to open up your Instagram and see a photo of that person you just had a disagreement with. Or, like, it's social media is great, but it's also fucking terrible, guys.
Yeah. The negative aspects of it are really awful. But I mean, there are so many positives, and without it, we at the moment wouldn't really be able to connect with people.
Mm,
So that's incredible. But like, I think it gives people unrealistic expectations of what life is. And I think it kind of spans into every part of your life. And, people, I don't know, like, people can't seem to hold down relationships anymore because there's always something, they're always pumped with the idea that there's something better out there, and then they don't work on the relationships that they have. And people are very quick to like cut things off. And that's not just like relationships, but like friendships, and like people are very
relationships
quick
in
to say,
general.
it's fine, like I'll find something better out there, because there's always that ideological thing, like the
Yeah,
idyllic image, and you're like, well, I'm striving for that all the time. And perfection, like perfection doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. There's always going to be something. There's always going to be compromise. There's always going to be little things that aren't quite right, and people just don't seem to want to accept that anymore.
yeah, 100%. It's very much um, it's I can't remember the name of it, but we're in the kind of what's there's actually a name for the time we're in right now, where everyone thinks they the entitlement era is what it is. Everyone thinks
Ooh,
they're
okay.
entitled to fame, to
Yeah, yeah,
thousands of followers, to money,
yeah.
to everything, and they don't have to work for it because they're seeing people their age and younger jumping on TikTok, jumping on Instagram, posting a couple of
Yeah,
photos, getting hundreds of thousands of followers, and then becoming a millionaire. Um, you don't see 10 years later, they've got no money. They're living
yeah.
in a trash apartment. They've got no friends because the people that were around were only there for the money. Like,
Hmm.
it's like we're in a really shitty time.
Yeah,
And it's going to be very interesting to see the the wave after now, because
yeah. And
with
where things go and
yeah,
what, like, is it gonna completely subvert and people are just gonna shun social media altogether? Like, is it, I don't, and what are people gonna do and what are people gonna feel? But I don't know, like the amount of posts that I see of things like, don't settle for this, don't settle for this, don't settle for this. And I'm like, look, I appreciate and like I know that people need to know their worth. I get that. People, of course, you need to know that you're like you need to know your worth. You need to know that you're a good person. Everybody is intrinsically good, but that doesn't mean that you never have to compromise anything ever. And I hate it. And I see it so much that it's like, never accept a man that does this to you. And I'm like, Hans, let's be realistic. Like, people aren't meant to be like this, and they're not like this just doesn't happen with no arguments and nothing and no compromise and no this and no that. It's not a thing. And people, I don't want to be like this negative bitch, but I'm like, Hans, lower your damn standards, otherwise you're just gonna die alone.
as a male, I agree.
It's
like
true.
like as a male, we see what you guys like, what is said. Like, we see those same posts, and then we're in our heads, we're like, fuck, we've got to like step up our game ridiculously to the point where we never meet the expectations, and then
It's
we're like, what the
unrealistic.
fuck do we need to do? Like, we're not superhuman. So yeah,
No.
like, let's be honest,
But
people.
also you as a woman or as someone who is looking for that, you also need to realize that you are not perfect. The people that post these things, yes, you are great. Yes, you know, you are a good person. Yes, you're beautiful. Yes, you're fun. Yes, you're this. Yes, you're that. But you're also not fucking perfect yourself. Like, oh, I feel like I'm being horrible.
We've
And I feel
triggered
like I'm
Ben now.
being
This is
this,
great. I love it.
I feel like I'm being this like negative person. But
Nope.
I just think people, a lot of people have unrealistic expectations of
Life.
what life is going to give to you.
Yeah. Because too
And
many
that's not
people are
me.
watching. Well, too many people are sitting on YouTube watching hours and hours of people living their lives. Like, you YouTubers that are on YouTube are successful because they're out there experiencing stuff. They're not sitting at home on their beds for 12 hours a day watching someone else do something they wish they could. Like,
Yeah.
it's literally about taking action. And you're never going to be successful. You're never going to amount to anything. There's no handouts in life. So if that's what you're expecting, time to stiffen that bottom lip up, because it ain't coming. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
Um,
Put the work in. You have to put work in to get, like, you get out what you put in, basically. If
You're
you're
not gonna
lazy,
like.
you, there are
We're
these lucky people that are like,
yeah.
people hand them stuff and you're like, how has this happened? Why is
Honestly,
this not happening to me? But instead of being bitter, put the fucking work in.
but honestly, probably a good 60% of those people did put some networking, or like they put effort in to get into that situation to have that handout. There's the
Yeah.
40% that literally were born into it and get it given to them and get whatever the hell they want. But there's those people that are lucky in the sense that they're just in the right room at the right time and overhear a conversation or meet the right person at the right time. Like,
Yeah.
and that's something Rosie and I touch on our episode, is life is literally, guys, in some circumstances, who you know, not what you know. In the cases of being a doctor and that type of thing, you need to know.
You need to know stuff.
But like,
for the love of God, please. Yeah.
But like, if you don't network and expand your circle, you're never gonna realize your full potential. Like, if you don't reach out to people, and let's bring it back into the theatre industry. This industry is literally who you know, not what you know. Like, you can go to school for 4 years, you can do whatever you want, but if you don't build that connection where people know your name, or you luckily meet a casting director that's willing to get you in a room, you're never going to get your break. Like, simple. Like,
No, I was super, super lucky because I went into one of my first auditions and I was like, I was fine. I was obviously very nervous, but the casting director saw something in me and was like, I'm going to see this girl for every show that I'm casting because I like her and I want to get her a job because she looks like she works hard and she deserves it. And I was super, like, you know, again, you get out what you put in.
100%. Like, and it's literally about reaching out. I don't know why people want to be influencers, aren't teachers
And
or doctors. That's a really good point.
it's a
Honestly,
really good point. Everyone now wants to be famous. Everyone wants accolades and everyone wants to have, like, this again, this idealistic, unrealistic life. And people, of course, do want money. Like, of course, money, you're right. But, like, to me, I do this not because I want followers and not because I want this and want that. This industry is hard. Like, because you're out of work more than you're in work. And I do this because it's something that I love. And I think people need to find passions that they love.
and like, in my case, because I know there's people out there that take digs at me for wanting to exploit the queendom or anything like this. I literally do this because I love this industry. And Jen's like, I'm like, oh yeah, you should hear the stories, my man.
That's enough for them.
I never set out to run a podcast. Like, this account was literally made to connect with other people. It was just lucky, literally just what we were speaking about. I was at BroadwayCon chatting to somebody else about a podcast, turned around to a friend, was like, oh yeah, Six could do with a podcast. And at that time I said those words, Toby and the US producer walked around the corner and I turned to them and I was like, a Six podcast. And they were like, do it. And I was like, okay. Like,
oh, Toby.
Man, that guy. He said yes to the podcast.
Toby.
So I can't wait for his episode because, mate, it's gonna be a train wreck. But like,
glorious
it's all
person.
about putting hours and hours and hours, and like I didn't get to do this with Jen every week because I randomly decided, hey, let's do this. It was because up until the point I recorded my episode with Jen, I'd put hours of work into creating a reliable and trustable brand on Instagram.
And you had, and also like, just to say this, the only reason that I came on the podcast is because you'd put the work in to doing your, like, to like honing your kind of craft in the most wanky sentence I've ever said, but like to honing that and to being a good like interviewer, because like we have a group chat and Shax and Maddie had been approached by Josh and had done interviews with Josh, and they got in touch. They put it on our group chat. They were like, look, FYI girls, we've just had this really great interview. If he approaches you, like, and if he's approached you, like, honestly get in touch with him because it's a really lovely interview.
And like,
that's
I'm not gonna lie, guys, I am not gonna lie, I asked Maddie and Shaq to say that, like, and this is literally I did, and I do it every episode. If I know somebody like Jody, for example, I knew that you guys had already been reached out to by the time I had Jody on, and Jody had a connection with Amy. So it's like, hey, any chance you can message Amy and see if she'll come on? And she literally sent a voicemail. Like, don't be afraid to ask, but be prepared to put the work in. And like, I'm at a point now where I can ask and ask and ask, and yeah, sure, I get no's like every now and again. I get left on red. But if you're afraid of a no and you won't ask a question because you're afraid of rejection or to hear the word no, I don't know what to tell you.
You're just gonna completely stagnate. You're gonna have these unrealistic expectations, and then you're gonna become completely despondent and be like, you know, you're gonna get into this hole. It's like I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm in this industry and you just get used to rejection all the time. Like, you get used to people being like, nah, and you just go, okay, next. Like, but like, that's my life.
It's a part of life,
and
though.
It is a part of life. And people need to suck it up and stop thinking that it's this entitlement. Stop thinking that you are entitled to everything. People are gonna say no. People are going to say no to you. Fucking deal with it.
Emily, you've just won the pinned comment of the day. Look at that. I might start getting up in time for this more because this motivation at its finest. You know.
Come on,
Emily. But yeah, like honestly, like I was lucky. Like the podcast, this account, I was lucky. I started this account before the official Australian account was started, which boosted my followers. The original, like the Australian cast jumped on board really early. I got in touch with the marketing team and was able to make good connections with the Australian team. Then everything else kind of just fell into place. Like, there's an element of luck to everything you do in life. But if you're relying on luck and not putting work in and figuring out how to better yourself and push yourself, then you're gonna hit this kind of brick wall where you're just gonna feel like, what's the point?
You have to step out. I mean, look at this, kids. It's a bush. You have to step outside your comfort zone. Like, I know you. Like, I've just seen. Like, I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable because they feel like they have to say yes. If people want to say no, they'll say no.
Literally.
If they say yes, then take that opportunity. Like, yeah, I don't think people would say yes if they didn't want to. There are times that people have asked me to do stuff and I've said yes and I've been like, oh, why did I say yes? And then you do it and then that's it and it's done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. You have to get over that.
Yeah. And like,
you have
honestly,
to get over it.
Jen and I are being brutal right now, but we're talking real life. We're not here to parent you. We're not here to wrap you in cotton wool. Like, the real world is shit.
Yeah.
The quicker you get that, the quicker. The only motivational speaker I have ever listened to and will only ever promote is Gary V. Do you listen? Have you
What's his
Gary
name?
Gary V?
Gary
V
V. I'm gonna write a note now.
VEE. So he's a businessman. He's American. He actually owns one of the Call of Duty esports teams, and
Right.
I don't know what he runs, but he does like motivational talks, but he's real. He's like there was a guy that I can't remember. I'm looking it up. This is our weekly Google session right now, guys.
Love it.
But like literally, he just speaks real. He's not afraid to say, "Suck it up." Like if you don't get out of bed, how do you expect to ever succeed in life? And he'll post videos of interviews that he does with people. He gets everyone to sign a consent form for interviews and that type of thing.
Right.
And actually, I don't know that for certain. And just in case he sees that, I'm sorry, Gary, if that's not right.
I'm just
like,
making shit up now.
But like, I've seen interviews where he's real. Like, why do you want to work for me? And then you see how people respond, and you can see him like, yeah, cool, all right, I'm happy to take you on because you were real, you were honest, you weren't trying to bullshit, you weren't trying to tell me. Stop trying to tell people what you think they want to hear.
What they want to hear.
Oh.
Don't stop doing it. Like, just stop.
Man,
I'm all about
like 2 hours today, Jen. We're on fire.
I know. I'm all about like honesty and like look at my belly. I'm all about honesty. Like, I don't know. Like, there is always an element to life where you don't want to upset people. In that instance, it's not about not telling people what they want to hear. It's about wording it in a sensitive way. It's not just like being like, no, that sounds shit, I'm not doing it. You need to be like, mate, like, I don't know. I don't know.
Just,
Anyway.
We have gone to town. But like,
just be honest. Always.
Just be genuine.
You know, there are ways that you can say things. Sometimes people will say things in a way that makes you feel shit. But I'd rather, I don't know. I'd rather people just be honest.
Yeah.
That's what I want, is more honesty in the world. Less bullshit, more honesty.
If we have any musicians, can someone please make us like an intro? We'll
genuine. Oh.
Somebody picked it up. 8 weeks
Stop
and we got there. We've got our thing.
Stop.
And that's going to spread like wildfire.
I hope so. That's all I want.
But
I'll
like,
try to make an intro. I love this. Grab my ukulele. Come on.
Can we talk about not so much intellectual property, but trying to be creative and trying to be original? Like, not seeing things online thinking, that's a cool idea, I'm going to do that. Like, when I first announced the podcast, there were about 3 or 4 accounts that were like, cool, we're going to do a podcast as well. I was like, you didn't have the idea until like I posted it. It's like, cool, if you want to run a podcast, cool, but don't look at my idea or look at anyone's idea and be like, cool, I'm going to make a carbon copy of that and try to do the exact same thing. Try, like, no idea is original. Like, no idea
Obviously.
at this point in time is original.
Yeah.
But try to make it unique.
To mold it so that it's yours,
Yeah.
as opposed to like, I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah.
Why? What?
Like,
No.
what are you going to get out of that? Like, if you're just trying
Yeah.
to replicate someone else's work,
Yeah.
one, it's going to be blatantly obvious. And two, you're not going to get any satisfaction out of it because it wasn't your idea.
You're always gonna feel that. Sorry.
It's deep.
I just
Who's
got a
messaging you? This is great.
Is it really buzzing? I'm sorry. Stop it! What was I going to say? What was I saying?
Emily,
Oh, I
like,
can't
you've
remember
caught
what
us on a good day, mate. Like, this doesn't happen very often.
The last few weeks I've just been a bit like, I think, but this
Maybe we
week
should.
I was like, I'm going to talk about my anxiety.
And
Let's
now
go. Yeah.
But yeah, like, try just in everything you do, try to find something different.
Something that is uniquely you. And
Yeah.
I think that's difficult because people do try and do it, but you have to know who you are before you do things like that,
Yeah.
you know? And that's not something that is easy to
Emily, look,
know who you are.
because we're being honest, you're probably going to be disappointed. Like, let's be honest.
Honesty.
Like,
Transparency.
out of the 8 or 9 of these Jen and I have done, I think 3 of them we might have gotten to this point on.
Stop.
No, but like on this level where we're just like kind of ripping humanity to shreds.
Oh, I hate them. I hate humanity. I just think. Go
Wait
on.
up. Who was it? Oh, apparently you're an alien.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Lauren Burns starting a conspiracy.
That
You're
I'm an alien?
That you're an alien.
Why is this?
You'll have to wait for a
Why
podcast
say?
episode to hear more.
Why say? What mate? Why say? Why do? Why do? Why do? I would like to know, please.
I kind of just want to hold on to this for 8 weeks and see it develop.
No,
because we know the
tell me
chat's
now
gonna
because I
run the
love.
risk.
I'm just gonna message you and be like, "Why the f am I an alien? What you saying? What you saying, mate?"
I don't know. Apparently, everybody but her in your cast is an alien. Look, I'm willing to believe said conspiracy until evidence is proven otherwise.
Look, what is her reasoning? What are her reasons?
I honestly can't
Come on.
remember. I can't remember the
Come on.
discussion. All I remember is her
Are you
calling
with
you an alien.
Is it because I have a good swing brain? Because I feel like she says things like this to me all the time.
Look at that. There's the first alien emoji. It's a thing.
Come on, alien emoji.
If there isn't fan art by the end of the day, folks, I'm going to be disappointed.
Of me as an alien?
Yeah, let's make it canon.
I think I have to make it. I don't have an alien head though. My head's too round.
Can we talk about your Grinch voice making an opinion on your takeover the other day?
Making a what?
Making an opinion.
Did I do it?
You did. I can't.
When did I do it?
It was in one of the like replies to something, and I went to reply, and I was like, "God, this is gonna go to Taylor. I can't."
Oh God. Look. I
Yeah.
can't help it. Sometimes it just comes out.
Yes, Ellie, you've
There was
just
a
won pin.
I love it when
Pin.
people ask me questions that I'm like,
Yeah,
oh my God, is
exactly.
this Erin? No! Who's your favorite queen to play? Honestly, like this is the thing, I need to be honest about this because I get that people want to know, but I think there's enough resources where you don't have to ask me anymore.
The podcast.
Go
Pretty.
search through things because I am sick to death of saying it. I'm sick to death.
Hey, Jen, I have got one question for you though.
I will end you.
Oh
Please.
God.
I'm gonna get mad about it. If anyone, I think people are just gonna ask. I need to stop being wound up by it though, because now people are just gonna start asking to wind me up, which they have started doing. Oh.
Welcome to the roller coaster that it is Tea Time Thursdays, folks.
That is me basically having a breakdown today. I don't know
Jen,
what's going on.
you turn 50 in like 14 days, 15 days.
I will cut you. And I literally,
Well,
as I said that, Emily put it up. I will
whoa.
cut you. She
That
knows
was
that that's my
scary.
retort. That is my retort now. And I
Rachel.
accidentally said it to Melissa the other day. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I will cut you.
Oh, that's great.
I say it constantly, and I probably,
Jen can come
yeah.
hard. As Athena said, be careful. Hey, look.
Like, as if Athena said that. Guys, Athena can come hard. Athena can. I'm a little bit scared of Athena. I know she's only 22.
I
You
have
don't want to mess.
never spoken to her, and I really need to get that
She's
line of
super
communication up.
shy. Like she's a really shy, quiet, lovely human being until she's mad about something or until she's tired. But I love her. And also, who looks like that, guys? Who looks like that? I can't deal with her. I remember I would sit in rehearsals and I would just stare at her because she's so beautiful. I'd just be like,
piece of evidence number one that the whole tour cast are, in fact, aliens.
I think there's an alien because nobody's that beautiful. That's it.
What she's
Nobody's that beautiful.
what's Wonder Woman? Wonder Woman's a Athenian? Maybe like she's like a Greek goddess.
She is.
Conspiracy.
She is a Greek goddess, but her whole family are just stunningly gorgeous.
Wait, are you we need to do like an hour on conspiracies.
I can't. I can't.
Like, are you
I
like
can't.
are you a legit theorist?
I'm not. I'm not at all. But I think I try to stay away from all that because I know that I would fall down a rabbit hole and I'd be like, oh my God, nothing is real. Ah! I think I'd have a breakdown.
Was it you that I told about the Elvis JFK conspiracy?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember who had that. Legit. I'm still there. Kind of like, guys.
Do you think it's a thing?
Yeah.
No.
Guys, I'm actually going to be disappointed if there's not a UK tour conspiracy account made, because like that would be like the epitome of this queendom.
I don't understand why she says that we're all aliens. What's going on?
You'll have to wait 8 weeks and listen to the episode. Mainly
Or you
because
can
I
just.
can't remember. I honestly
Oh, I was
cannot
gonna say,
remember the
or you
conversation.
could just message me after this about it. Like,
I'd have to go back and listen to it.
God damn it!
It definitely
God
did
damn!
started with your swing brain, and then was, I think, something about Lauren Drew's first No Way that
Vocals.
she sang. Yeah.
Lauren Drew's first. Just everyone. As soon as I heard them, like everybody sing or saw everybody do their thing, you know, I yeah, madness.
Madness.
Yeah, everyone has I mean in life everybody has like their thing that they're super good at, and you see people do it and you're like, holy Moses, you're an alien. I get it. First time I heard Lauren Burns truthfully riff, I did this. Oh, it was so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. I could
So
listen to
good.
that girl sing all day. All day.
All day.
Beautiful. The most beautiful voice.
You know how good
Stunning.
we've been today, Jen? We haven't even needed to go to the question box to fill time. That's how, like, fired up we've been.
Holy Moses. That's exciting. I'm peeling everywhere. How long have we got now?
4 minutes. I mean, we can cut it short if you want.
That's my skin, guys. I just want to. That skin that's just come off my chest.
And to people watching this back, welcome to tea time.
Yeah. Triggered. Don't riff, people. You'll make Jen very triggered because riffing doesn't add to the story. I mean, that's not my thing. That is for sure a Breed's thing. But I totally agree. I agree. And I think if it does add to the story, if you can explain why you're riffing, I'll accept it.
It's kind of like, I don't really like the step downs in Soul of a Man from Kinky Boots. Soul of a Man. It's like, ugh.
I don't think I've listened to it.
Don't. Like, I love the Soda Beasters, but it's very much like, who is messaging you?
I'm sorry. There was an analogy that I discussed the other day about riffing, and I can't say it because it's gross, but it's it's like, you know, what I want to say is riffing is difficult. So in that way, you go, I appreciate that is hard to do. But it's also not necessary.
Yeah.
Like it's yeah, it's difficult to do and you go, yeah, cool, but also please stop.
Yeah.
Because I cannot hear the words that you are singing.
100%.
If I can hear the words that you're singing and it adds to the story and you're doing it from a place of truth, crack on.
And
but
on
if
that
it's
note,
just noise, I'm not having it.
We are going to wrap up with Jen's final rant. Queens, thank you for coming and hanging out for another tea time. This was a fun one, proudly presented to you by Jen's Anxiety. For more, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Jodie Steele is on the podcast this week, coming out on Saturday. Other than that, Queens, thank you for coming and hanging out with us, and we will see you.
Yeah.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Listening to my shit.
Alrighty, Jen, we've got 20 seconds. Do you have anything you need to plug? Oh, Jen,
I'm doing a workshop
thing.
tomorrow and I'm doing one on Tuesday.
Make sure you email Jen.
Get in touch.
Bye, crew. Love you. Bye.
Bye.